You're always supported. It just doesn't always feel like it. Now, this is a really, really hard lesson that I've had to learn. And so I am deeply humbled to share it. Hopefully it can save at least some people, a person, some amount of suffering, because I suffered greatly to learn this one, and I really would rather others don't have to go through the same. So you're always supported, but it doesn't always feel like that. I'll give an example. I went through a stretch where I was very successful in my career and everything flowed. It was in flow. It was beautiful. Didn't ever worry about my job or money. I just, it just kind of came very easily. Career transitions, changing places. I'm not saying it wasn't without its challenges, but for the most part, it wasn't an aspect of my life that I had to worry about, or I spent much energy focusing on making better. I was happy with where I was. And then the universe said, it's time to wake up. And I was forced to explore a particular duality. And that duality is from abundance to lack. Now, I started out as a young child in not a particularly wealthy family, but my parents worked hard, did the right thing, American dream style, and to their credit, moved themselves up the socioeconomic pyramid very well, very nicely. And so I sort of had this experience of lack a little bit when I was a kid, but then it was not really there. But lack is clearly in my genetics, in my DNA, in the family, in the ancestral lines. And so I had a little bit of exploration of lack then, but then I blossomed into abundance when I went into the world, after college and into my career, and was very blessed. Was very blessed to have all of these experiences. And then the universe said, all right, now let's study lack. And the income went away. But I had squirreled away a fair amount from previous years of my income. And then there were family things that caused, decreases in that pile of wealth as well. And I went on this deep journey, and I frankly thought it was going to kill me. And it was a deep struggle, and there were many tears, and there were many knots and many sleepless nights. And I struggled trying different jobs, and nothing's working, and trying new things, building new businesses, it's not working, going to a new company, it's not working, and having these same experiences several times. And in the depth of this, I realized that what was causing the suffering was not because I didn't have enough money to pay my bills. I had enough, always. I was always supported, but it didn't always feel like it. And the ego, it was attached to the lifestyle, to the things, to the money, to the activities, to the prestige, the perceived prestige. All an illusion, of course, but the ego is deeply entrenched with it. And in order to find myself, my true self, I had to go through this dark night where I had to explore both dualities, right? I had both polarities of this duality. I had the abundance, and then I had the lack. And with perseverance and trust in the path and the journey, and trust in yourself, trust in your higher self if you can't trust in yourself. Trust in God if you can't trust in yourself. Trust in something that's going to get you to where you want to be, to a state of abundance. And through this process, I also learned that abundance is different than money or wealth. Abundance is having what you need when you need it. So every moment, be grateful for the food that you have on the table. Be grateful that you're able to write that check so that your child can go to that dance or participate in this sport or activity. Be grateful that when you fill your car up with gas. You've got money in the bank to do that. And for those of you that don't, be grateful anyway, because it's the gratefulness. There's something to be grateful for. Try to be grateful for your abundance in whatever ways you can, because that gratitude will magnetize more abundance back to you. We're always supported. Just doesn't always feel like it.